Hi, my name is Robert. I want to tell you about finding inner peace. This is a story about stress, anxiety, and learning what really matters. I am 38 years old. I work as a financial analyst in New York City. My life looks successful. I have a good job with a high salary. I have a nice apartment. I have money in the bank. But inside, I felt terrible. I was stressed all the time. I was anxious about everything. I couldn't sleep well. Despite having everything, I felt empty and unhappy. My typical day was exhausting. I woke up at 6 a.m. to work emails. I checked messages before even getting out of bed. I rushed through breakfast while checking my phone, reading news, scrolling through social media, worrying about the day ahead. I took the crowded subway to work, surrounded by stressed people staring at their phones. At work, I spent 10 hours staring at computer screens, analyzing numbers, attending meetings, and responding to constant emails. My boss always wanted things faster. My colleagues competed for promotions. Everything felt urgent and important. During lunch, I ate quickly at my desk while working. I drank too much coffee to stay alert. My shoulders were always tense. My head often hurt. After work, I cooked the crowded subway home. I ordered takeout food because I was too tired to cook. I watched TV while checking my phone and worrying about tomorrow's work. I went to bed late, my mind racing with thoughts about deadlines and problems. Even on weekends, I couldn't relax. I checked work emails constantly. I felt guilty if I wasn't being productive. I scrolled through social media, seeing other people's perfect lives and feeling inadequate. I was always busy, but never fulfilled. I was always tired, but couldn't sleep well. I had money, but no peace. My body showed signs of stress. My doctor said my blood pressure was too high. I had frequent headaches. I was only 38, but I felt much older. One Sunday afternoon in Central Park, I saw an old man sitting on a bench. He was doing nothing, not checking his phone, just sitting peacefully, watching the trees. He looked so calm, so content. I walked over to him. "Excuse me, you look very peaceful. How do you do that?" The old man smiled. "Sit down," he said. I sat down, still holding my phone. "Put your phone away," he said gently. "Now, just sit here with me for 5 minutes. Don't talk, don't think about work, just notice what's around you." We sat in silence. At first, my mind was racing with thoughts about emails I needed to send, projects I needed to finish, problems I needed to solve. But gradually, I started noticing other things. I noticed the wind moving through the trees. I heard birds singing. I saw children playing and laughing. I felt the sun warm on my face. I smelled fresh grass. For 5 minutes, I wasn't thinking about work or problems. I was just present in that moment. When 5 minutes ended, I felt surprisingly calm. "How do you feel?" the old man asked. "Better, calmer," I admitted. "That's inner peace," he said. "It's always available. You just forgot how to access it." He introduced himself as Henry, a retired teacher. We talked for an hour. Henry told me that for years he had lived like me, stressed, busy, always worried. Then he had a heart attack at age 55. That experience was a wake-up call. It made him realize he needed to change his life completely. He said, "I learned that inner peace doesn't come from being more successful or making more money. Inner peace comes from inside, not from external circumstances. It comes from being present, from letting go of constant worry, from accepting what you cannot control." Henry taught me several simple practices. First, practice being present. Most stress comes from thinking about the past or worrying about the future. Second, take deep breaths. Take 5 deep breaths several times a day. It calms your nervous system. Third, spend time in nature. Even 10 minutes in a park can reduce stress. Fourth, create boundaries with work. You don't need to check emails at 10 p.m. Fifth, practice gratitude. Each day, think about 3 things you're grateful for. Henry invited me to join his group that met every Saturday morning in the park to practice meditation. That evening, I thought about Henry's advice. Could simple practices really help? But I was desperate. I needed change. The next morning, instead of checking my phone immediately, I sat on my bed for 5 minutes. I just breathed deeply and noticed how I felt. It was difficult. My mind wanted to think about work, but I kept bringing my attention back to my breathing. At work, I took a short walk outside during lunch instead of eating at my desk. I noticed the sky, the buildings, the people walking by. Just 10 minutes of being outside and present helped me feel less overwhelmed. That evening, before bed, I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for: my health, my comfortable apartment, and meeting Henry. It seemed simple, but it made me feel more positive. I continued these practices every day. Some days were easier than others. Some days I forgot and fell back into my old stressed patterns. But gradually, I noticed small changes. I felt slightly calmer. I slept a little better. I didn't react as strongly to work stress. On Saturday, I went to Henry's group in Central Park. About 12 people sat in a circle on the grass. They were different ages and backgrounds, but they all came for the same reason: to find more peace in their lives. We meditated for 20 minutes. At first, my mind was very busy with thoughts, but Henry's calm voice guided us. When thoughts come, just notice them. Then return your attention to your breathing. Don't judge yourself, just keep coming back to the present moment. After meditation, we talked about our experiences. Many people felt the same stress I did. A young woman named Sophie talked about her work anxiety. A man named James talked about his constant worry. Everyone understood. I wasn't alone. Over the following weeks, I continued attending Henry's Saturday group. I continued my daily practices: morning meditation, mindful breathing, gratitude journaling. Slowly but surely, things changed. I started setting boundaries at work. I stopped checking emails after 7 p.m. When my boss sent late-night messages, I responded the next morning. Surprisingly, nothing terrible happened. The work still got done. I took real lunch breaks outside. I ate slowly and gave my mind a rest. I came back to work feeling more focused. I reduced my social media use drastically. Instead of scrolling for hours, I spent time reading, walking, and actually relaxing. I started a consistent morning routine: 10 minutes of meditation and gratitude before touching my phone. After 3 months, my life looked similar but felt completely different. I still had the same job and responsibilities, but I felt more peaceful, more content, more present. My doctor noticed changes. My blood pressure decreased, my headaches were less frequent, I slept better. My work performance improved. When I was less stressed, I made better decisions. My boss said I seemed more calm and creative. Most importantly, I felt happier. Not temporary happiness from buying things, but deeper contentment, a sense of peace that didn't depend on external circumstances. Now, 2 years later, inner peace is my foundation. I still have stressful days and challenges, but I don't get overwhelmed the same way. I have tools to return to calmness. I learned that inner peace is not about having a perfect life. It's about how you relate to your life. It's about being present instead of constantly worried. Here's what I learned. First, slow down. Constant busyness creates constant stress. Schedule time for peace. Second, practice presence. Most stress comes from past regrets or future worries. Focus on the present moment. Third, breathe consciously. A few deep breaths can instantly calm you. Fourth, connect with nature. Even a few minutes outside reduces stress. Fifth, set boundaries with work. You don't need to be available 24/7. Sixth, practice gratitude. Focus on what's good instead of what's wrong. Most importantly, understand that inner peace is a practice, not a destination. You practice it daily, moment by moment. If you feel stressed or anxious, change is possible. You don't need to quit your job. You can find peace right where you are. Start small. Try one practice today. Sit quietly for 5 minutes. Take a walk outside. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Inner peace changed my life. It gave me health, happiness, and contentment. It can do the same for you. You deserve peace. Start practicing today. The end.